guys, I'm John Matthews and this is Average American Outdoors. My wife and I decided that we wanted to create our own YouTube channel because a lot of the YouTube channels that we've watched over the years have seemed to be becoming commercially based, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's great. It's just there's a lot of stuff that I don't think the average American can really afford to do on a regular basis, like guided hunts and private landowner tags and stuff like that. So we wanted to create something to show that the average Joe can get out and live a good life and still do stuff outdoors. We're gonna show you on some of our videos just how we do things, everything from our hunting and fishing to where we go and kind of what budgets and stuff we run on, and even the befores and afters, you know, planning for a hunt, getting our gear ready, and it's after the hunt, processing the meat and doing Euro mounts like I'm doing today, and even the recipes that we cook. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll do a short video today on doing this Euro mount. Thanks. Enjoy. Alright, so I'm doing a deer Euro. It's pretty basic. All you need is a pot, a turkey fryer. I picked that one up at a yard sale for like $5, and propane, water, and I do use a little bit of OxiClean, but it's not necessary. It just kind of helps break down that bleach process. This one's been boiling for about 30 to 40 minutes. And it's kind of hard to see with all the steam, but the water is receding down a little bit, and you want to try to keep it up over the top of the skull plate, so all this stuff that goes up to the base of the horns gets done off. I do wrap the horns because it kind of helps keep the color on, and you don't have to do so much like restaining type stuff to make it look natural after the fact. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of water to this right now. And also, when you add cold water or warm water, you'll see it's not boiling as much right now. The slower you do this, I found that the better it degreases it, and that'll help with keeping a nice white skull. Yeah, like you see, I still need to go get a little more water, but you want to try to get it up in here. This stuff will peel off pretty easy. I mean, I could probably flick most of that off my finger, but just like that. And you can see where it's white where that wasn't at, and it hasn't had a chance to start taking the grease out from underneath where that skin fat layer was at. So we'll check on this in another 30 to 40 minutes after I add a little more water to it. Alright, so this is probably 2 minutes, 3 minutes after I added water, and as you can see, it's back to a roaring boil. I like to keep it a little bit lower than that, so I'm going to turn it down. It kind of helps with the evaporation rate, so you don't have to add so much all the time. So as I'm boiling ahead, I'm trying to make the most of my time, so I'm not just standing out here in the cold, because I live in Wyoming and the wind's blowing probably about 20, but we're in town, so it's just kind of sheltered a little bit, but it's still cold out here, and I don't like standing out in the cold anymore, and I have to, so I've been bouncing back and forth between this and inside, trying to get caught up on some of my organization stuff, because I don't know about you guys, but going through hunting season, everything kind of seems to be chaotic, and I don't have time to get things put back up and prep for the next time I need them. For us, from August 1st usually until the end of November, it's pretty hectic, just because hunting season starts and it's just go, go, go. We're either hunting or processing meat, and it's pretty non-stop. So I like to make the most of my downtime. I've only got one hunt left for the year, big game hunt, and that'll be coming up in another 2 weeks. So this weekend, with the weather like it is, I'm going to take advantage of my downtime and get kind of regrouped for not only next season, but for this upcoming hunt that I got. Alright, so like I said, it's cold outside. I brought the head inside. Normally I would do this outside and just kind of flush it with a garden hose. But I'm pretty sure my hose is froze. So I'm just going to take a knife and kind of scrape off some of the bigger pieces around the eyes that usually stick. Yay. I'm just gonna knock the bigger stuff off, and like out here on the nose, trim that off about as flush as I can. And this part here you want to trim out so it kind of disconnects it from there, that septum. And then I got a pair of needle nose, and I just grab it and kind of wiggle it up and out the best I can. It's usually going to break off back in there quite a ways, but like I say, throw that in the sink for now. It's not the greatest smell in the world, but I don't think it's going to stink up the house. Pop that out now. You can see it kind of sits in this little groove. And just shake it. And back here on the back end, there's always a little stuff that sticks. I just kind of scrape it off. You don't have to be real aggressive, just gentle scrapes, and after a little while it'll come off. And this one, the brain was taken out before we boiled it, so it went pretty fast. If you leave the brain in, you can do it that way. It's going to add more grease to it. So it might take a little longer as far as degreasing. But other than that, and then you can see you got a little bit of sack in there. Yeah, sorry, the camera cut out on me. I don't know if you can get in there, but it's got a little sack in there. So once I get done kind of scraping the bigger pieces off, these ear holes or canals are always really rubbery. But now I'll just take some water and start flushing things out and try not to make a mess. The garden hose usually works better. It's just got more pressure. But like I say, this will work. Just trying to take one more. The biggest part to be concerned about is up in here, getting all the little pieces out that could potentially start rotting after it dries out, and it'll smell funky then. Really want to make sure to get that brain out. Shake it a couple times so I can get the sack to come out. Usually, if the optic nerve, where it goes in, down off in here, if that's pushed through on both sides, you can spray down in and kind of get that sack to pop out. But I'm going to keep going on this, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. Alright guys, so I got my head cleaned off the way I want it, and got all the bits and pieces out that can come out. And got my sink cleaned up so my wife doesn't kill me. Next thing you're gonna need is some 40% by volume peroxide developer. I like the cream stuff. It seems to hang on a little bit better and not want to just be like water and run off. This was pretty cheap, like 10 bucks on Amazon. So, and I recommend wearing gloves and having some kind of surface that you're not going to get stained on, because this stuff will bleach just about everything it touches. You definitely don't want to get it on the horns or the antlers. So I'm going to do this over the sink, and then once that's done, I'll put it in the basement or something so it's in a safe place, not going to get knocked over, and just let it dry for a couple of days and it'll bleach out. Pretty easy, just start right down the middle. Make sure you get it into the crevices and whatnot, down in the nose. Just get you a good base layer. Then just use your fingers and kind of smear it around so it's got a nice even coat all the way throughout. And you want to be conscious that you're not tipping it upside down and having it drip onto the horns, because then you'll have a nice little teardrop drip effect that's about 8 shades whiter on the horns than everywhere else. Some of the stuff that drips off into the sink, I'll kind of scoop up with my fingers and reapply, just to save a little money and keep it going. Some people don't like to put it on the teeth because they like the natural color of the teeth. For this, it doesn't really matter. I'm not that picky about it, but some people are. Off in the eye sockets in the back here. Like I say, this stuff is creamy, so it sticks a little bit better. The other stuff's just like water. Alright, looks like I got a pretty decent coat. I'm going to put this up. Alright, so in a couple days when that gets done drying, it'll be ready to wash off and ready for the wall. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Like I say, we're pretty basic how-to. We do stuff. A lot of stuff we do is geared towards saving money and making it so we can afford to keep doing the things that we enjoy to do. Hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you guys next time.